Hello children, today we are going to learn about transportation in plants. Already we have spoken about animal transportation. Okay, today we are going to learn about transportation in plants. How the transportation takes place in plants. Let us see. Okay children, who takes care of transportation in plants? Transportation means already you know that water and food materials has to transport to the all parts of the plant. But who takes care? Right. Vascular bundle. Vascular bundle means xylem and phloem. Right. And also we can see so many plants, small trees and also very tall trees. How water reaches the top of the all tall trees. In this session, we are going to how the water and food material reach to the all parts of the plant. So that is a transportation, right? Let us look at the transportation in plants, right? Transportation in plants. So already I told you. So vascular bundle means xylem and phloem tissues togetherly called vascular bundle. Okay, so you might have learnt about the xylem and phloem in the ninth class. Okay, children. Xylem transports the water, mineral salts to the plant, and also it has a lignified walls. It gives mechanical support to the plant, right? And come to the phloem. Phloem transports food. Food means sucrose and also amino acids like that. So it transports to the all parts of the body, and it has a save tubes and also companion cells, right? Both. So now xylem and phloem togetherly transport the water and also food material to the plant. Right, children? Okay, children. Let us look at how the water and food material transport to the plant. Right? So how osmosis and also diffusion. These both processes helps to transport the water and food material to supply the all parts of the plant. Right. Before going to learn that, I will tell you what is osmosis. Osmosis means always water molecules move from higher concentration to lower concentration. That is osmosis. Right, children? What is diffusion? Yeah, diffusion means always water molecules move from lower concentration to higher concentration. But you remember that the movement of water governed by osmosis process, while movement of minerals and also food materials governed by diffusion process. Do you understand, children? Right. Okay, let us look at how the xylem helps to conduct the water to the plant. Actually, xylem having a dead cells, and also it's composed to the elements of tracheids and vessels. So these are the tracheids. Tracheids are the chief water conducting elements of plants. And also these are so elongated cells. And you look here, closed head both ends. Both ends are closed, right? And also the walls are so many pits, numerous pits you can see here, which are helps to conduct the water, right? And another element is vessel. Vessels are just like a tubular structures, and these having the most efficient water conductors than tracheids, right? And also you can see um, these are also having a pits and open-ended vessels attached one to another, so that water conduct the tall trees also very easily. So this is, you can see in this picture also. So these are xylem, tracheids and also vessels. So and also you can see here phloem also. So let us look at how the water roots to tall plants, how it's reaching. Just look here, uptake of water by root hair cells. So root hair cells means how the when, so you know that. So if you see the plant, water has to conduct from root to all parts of the plant, right? Further, one of the process is there that is called ascent sap. Ascent means rise up. Water is rise up to the plant from root to leaves, right? So ascent sap means conduction of water from root to all parts of the plant. So water from the soil absorbed by the root hair. From the soil, water absorbed by the root hair. So roots having a hair-like structures. So these are absorb the water by osmosis, right? Already I told you about the osmosis. So that by using osmosis process, water absorbed by the soil to root hair. When the root hair cells are filled with water, the water one cell to another cell, it reached to the xylem vessels of roots. So xylem vessels having in roots and also stems. So first water reaches to the xylem vessels. When the xylem vessels are filled with water, these vessels are send the water to the vessels of stem. So now all the vessels filled in the stem filled with water. So now water reaches to the leaf veins. So tall trees also now reach the water, get the water from roots. So we can say that this is the flow chart of ascent sap. So this is called ascent sap. Totally water from roots to tall plant till the leaves and also all the parts of the plant get the water now. So this is called ascent sap. Right, children? Okay, children, let us see the root pressure experiment. So now, before I told you, so the water from the roots to water rise up to the stem and also stem to supply the water to the all parts of the plant. Because of root pressure only water rise up. But how the root pressure works, so you can see this experiment so that you can understand very well. So these are the materials we need to do the root pressure experiment. So now you can see here, this is the one, take one plant and also cut off the stem of the plant Stem means which is near to the roots. Cut off the stem few centimeters above the soil level and fix a long narrow glass tube. You can see here glass tube, and one of the color, you can see here red color, you are seeing here colored water we have to pour into the glass tube, and also we have to mark the level, and glass tube is connected to the manometer. Now this whole setup left for observation. So when we pour the water, so what will happen in the observation, you can so see here, after some time the level of the colored water rises in the tube. Why? What will happen? Why it rises up? We poured the water in the potted plant, so that the water conducts and also entered into the stem, so that this color, whatever we marked the color level, this rised up. So according to this experiment, we can say that because of root pressure only, water level rise up and also reach to the all parts of the plant. Right, children? Okay, children, let us look at the transpiration. What is transpiration? Transpiration means xylem conduct the water to the plant. Where does water goes up and what is happening later? Right? So what is happening? The water absorbed by the plant for photosynthesis. You know that what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis need four important materials. In those, water is important material. So water is now absorbed by the root, and also this is helps in photosynthesis. I mean preparing the food. But what about the remaining water? Remaining water, actually this is comes out of the leaves, right? The excess water comes out of the leaf pores, leaves having a pores, which are called as stomata. From the stomata, water comes out of the leaves in the form of water vapor. That is called transpiration. No? So, did you understand, children? So little quantity of water, 2% of water helps in photosynthesis. Remained water comes out of the plant in the form of water vapor. That is called transpiration. Okay. Okay, children, let us look at the phloem tissue. So already we learned about the xylem. So both tissues, vascular bundle means xylem and also phloem. Already explained about the xylem tissue, which is helps the water to the plant. Now come to the phloem. Phloem tissue conduct the food materials to the all parts of the plant. So movement of substances, I mean movement of food substances like sugar and also amino acids like, so these are transport to the all parts of the plant, that is called translocation. When the water transport from roots to the all parts of the plant, that is called ascent sap, isn't it? But now food material transport to the all parts of the plant with the help of phloem, that is called translocation. Right, children? Now you can observe here. So phloem tissue has a main two kinds of cells, sieve cells and also companion cells. right? And also if you observe this figure, so this is the transverse section of stem. So we can observe the phloem tissue and also xylem tissue in that, right children? Let us look at about the phloem. Okay children, already told you. So phloem tissue having two kinds of cells. They are sieve cells and also companion cells. So these togetherly called phloem. Sieve tubes. This, if you observe this figure, you can see the sieve tubes. So the small tube-like structures are called sieve tubes, and also these elongated tube-like structures are called companion cells, right? Sieve elements joined together, and also these are tubular-like structures, and to companion cells. So these are, each sieve element has at least one companion cell, right children? Each sieve element has at least one companion cell. Companion means company, right? So these have mitochondria, and also these companion cells have a mitochondria and ribosomes. And also one more thing, you remember that companion cells regulate the metabolic activities, right? So metabolic activities. So in the xylem, two kinds of cells we have learned in that, and also come to the phloem also, two kinds of cells are there, sieve, sieve cells and also companion cells. These both are helps to conduct the food materials to the all parts of the. Okay children, let us look at this experiment so that you can understand how the food material is transported from the leaves to the all parts of the plant, but water conducting from roots to the all parts of the plant. But come to the food material means, what is the food material for plants? Right, glucose prepared by photosynthesis but stored in leaves. That's why from the leaves to the food material has to transport to the all parts of the plant. But now how this is transporting? Now if you observe the aphids experiment, you can say that, so take the stem part, how the food material is, we can see in the stem. If you observe here, aphids are parasites. Parasites means which are depends on others for their food. This is, this parasite is depends on plants for its food. So it is sucking something from the stem. Why? Because it is sucking the food material. So how the food, where is the food material? Actually this food material is consists in the inside the stem, that we can see here. So now these mouth parts are, actually mouth parts means just proboscis is, proboscis penetrate into the stem and sucking the food material. But sometimes when the body of the aphid is cut off, leaving behind the proboscis in the plant tissues. But we can say that the proboscis is left into the stem. If you observe that the food material in that, the liquid form sucrose and also amino acids, we can see that, so that we can say that the food material is present into the stem also. So because of aphids experiment, we can say that food material is transport to the all parts of the plant, right children? Children, another experiment you can see here. So when we remove the bark of the trees, so completely we have to remove the bark of the phloem. So what will happen, so above the ring you can see the swollen region, you can see here. Why? Because after what cut the stem, the food is preserved here above the cut part. You can see the swollen part because the food is stored here, but there is no preparation of food here. Why? Because food is transport to the all parts of the plant, but when you cut the phloem tissue here, there is no transportation takes place here. That's why you can see the above region part only swollen, right children? Okay, thank you.